to this week's Talking Codswallop. I am Gemma.
I'm James.
And this is a real episode this week. Woohoo!
Yes, as opposed to the virtual episodes we put out. So
yes.
The thing is, Gemma may call this a real episode, but does that mean one of us is a bot?
Well, you are, going back from history, because I had to reboot you all the time, didn't I? Every time you made mistakes.
This is true. This is true. I'm more of a transformer, obviously. So,
of course.
Am I Decepticon or an Autobot? Who knows?
Who knows indeed? Who knows indeed? So, you can choose. I'll let you choose whichever one you want to be.
I'll work out whichever side of the coin I wish to land on for that particular day or time.
Yeah.
But yes. How are we doing, Gemma? How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Obviously,
Good.
I mean, obviously, we did our little intro for last week's episode, which has gone down very well as well, because it's kind of like our origin story. So it was always good to put that in 200 episodes in, 200 plus.
It's our superhero origin story.
Yes, as somebody pointed out, but there wasn't really a superhero reference.
No, I mean, you could argue that you're the supervillain and the superhero, but hey, who knows?
Yeah, I'd prefer to be the villain. It's all good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think after that episode, we definitely can call me girl. Because I said so many times, because to little sort of explain it. I'm good when it comes about talking about other things, and when it comes to like if I've prepped stuff to talk about that and whatnot. But when it comes to actually promoting this podcast and stuff, I'm useless when it comes to that. Well, not useless, but I do really sort of think about what I'm trying to say, but I don't get it out properly. So
you just like to saying
well, I mean, I don't like to say it because it irritates me, but
So do you think it's just that you want to be one of the crash test dummies?
Yep.
There's a whole segment of our listening audience who'll be like, who? What? Where? Get on the internet, people.
Yeah, if you are, head onto the internet and type in crash. What was it? Crash.
The crash test dummies. You'll find it. There's also a very good parody of it that was done by Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh yes, that's a very good point as well. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But once there was a girl who something. I've forgotten the words.
Our viewer levels have just shot down by about 80% because they have no idea what you're talking about. So let's bring them back. What have you been up to, Gemma?
I was going to say, there's people watching us right now, are there?
Yeah, well, viewers listening, hey, we can go on YouTube, it's all good. And we know we have viewers because people have been watching the thing where we were on it with Dre. So yes, right. We do have viewers. I am factually accurate.
All right, fine, you do. Yes,
I am factually accurate.
And yes, I'm fine, thank you. I think I've already said that, but I'm not sure. I either thought it or I said it. I can't remember. Because obviously we've got a helicopter going across now. Bloody typical.
They're looking for you. What have you done?
They are, yeah.
Time to confess.
The prison's let out again and they're trying to find the escapee, but they don't realise it's me. Yes.
The question is, Gemma, will they want you back?
No.
Or will they let you run free?
No, they'll think, well, it's actually more peaceful without her, so we'll leave her out, I think. Yeah, definitely. So obviously we recorded like a little intro to our episode last week, as I sort of touched upon earlier, but otherwise we haven't recorded for like about 2 weeks, have we? So I've had quite a lot of things happen, so I think if we talk about what you've been up to first, because I've got a lot to say. So
I've not got huge amounts that I can bring. I'm intrigued to see what, because I get the impression that there could be a lot of codswallop here. It's unbelievable, isn't it, Salty Tadpoles? Gemma could be angry about something because she's never angry. Just like it's like podcasting with She-Hulk. But yeah, no, let's put me to one side because I don't have a mass of stuff to discuss. What's been annoying you, Gemma? What's gone wrong?
Well, do you know what? I had to write stuff down. Right. So here we go.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so my codswallops this week are kind of mixed in with some stories as well. So
okay.
I will kind of maybe, yeah, let's see. No, okay, I've got 3 codswallops.
Okay.
So one of them is a long-standing codswallop, which I didn't realise the other day I hadn't actually brought up. So this is something that's pissed me off for years and years and years. Mm-hmm. So, James, the 5 pence piece. That is my codswallop this week. I hate 5p's.
Okay.
They are so friggin' tiny and you can never find them in your purse or your wallet or whatever.
Okay, it's like I'm talking to a crazy person, but go on.
No, I do. Honestly, I find them so irritating because they're such a tiny bit of currency, and they're not worth much either. Obviously, 5 pence. But
all right, no, I've got a plan. Collect them all, send them to me. Go on, keep going.
Well, I could collect them all and then put them into Asda. You've got those little machines and stuff. I might do that. But still, 5 pence pieces are so annoying. They, since they changed, I remember when they were like the big 5p's, that was about the size of a 10 pence piece.
I'll take your word for it.
Oh, you remember.
I'm too young to remember.
No, you're not.
Go on. Yep, go on.
No, you're not. You're a year older than me. So
no. Just
yes.
Go on, sorry, yes. No. I'm just too young to remember. No, I can just about remember them.
Yeah. I mean, I've only got a vague memory of it, so it's not a massive memory of it.
Backpedaling there, Jem, but keep going.
Shut up. Yeah. So anyway, 5 pence pieces. Because they're so tiny, you can never find them. They get stuck in the corner of your wallet or your purse or whatever, and they're just really frustrating. So that's a long-standing 5 pence piece codswallop that I've had for years. So for any of our British salty tadpoles, if you too hate 5 pences, please let me know. Because James clearly doesn't care.
No, I mean, I'm just saying if you have a long-standing hatred of this currency, please feel free to bring it all together and send it to me.
No, because I don't want you to profit from my misery.
Alternatively, you could give them all to your mum, because obviously it's all coming to me from your mother anyway.
That's a good point,
in the will, so...
Yeah. All right, so that one didn't get your goat. So... one of the other codswallops I had, which obviously I went on Condor ferries to Guernsey, which I'll tell you about a bit later.
Cool.
But I did have a really, really lovely time. But obviously we're in the codswallop section, so I wanted to get that bit out first.
Bit risky. Yep.
I know. So we're on the ferry and we're going to Guernsey. It's not a nice crossing. Really not a nice crossing at all. The waves were massive and... many a bag were used, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
Yeah, even, I do feel sick, but I've got, it's a bit weird, but, I've got a thing where instead of being like the opposite of a bulimic or an anorexic or whatever, I can actually force myself not to be sick because I've got like this thing about being sick that I really can't do it very often. And I know that sounds probably a bit weird, but yeah, it's just, I think when I was a kid, I was always so poorly and so sick that, the memory of it, I really forced myself not to be sick. It's horrible. But there was no choice on this journey. So I had to use, one of the sick bags. And but one of my sort of almost codswallop is, why is it a bag? Why have they not thought of some sort of plastic? I know, okay, it might not be easily folded away or whatever, but you know what paper's like? Paper can get holes in it, can't it? Quite easily, especially if it goes wet.
I don't know, is it biodegradability? The fact that it's sick, which is, I guess, now organic matter, and the paper can probably be broke down?
I don't know. But it's kind of like you were, like, if it was happening, you sort of like, you pop into the toilet to dispose of it, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that, we got to be environmentally friendly, but at the same time, when a paper bag gets wet, what happens? You know what I mean?
Well, I'm going to be honest, touch wood, I don't generally spend a lot of time throwing up into bags. I do spend a lot of time trying to get my hearing to recover, but that's for another day. But no, I don't, touch wood, spend a lot of time throwing up into bags. So I'm going to be honest, it's not really been high on my list of things that I've thought about.
Yeah. Well, no, this was a first for me as well. So that's probably what's triggered it, to be honest. But even in general, like if you got a bag of shopping, for example, and you had a paper bag and then it starts raining, the bag gets wet, doesn't it? And then it's like you get holes in the bag. So, I just think it's a bit of an idiotic move, really, to make those necessary bags, when necessary, paper, Maybe we can make the one exception of making it plastic so that everyone has a comfy journey.
Yep, it's a tough one to answer, I'm afraid. I do not know. If any salty tadpoles know the answer to this one, other than get a life, please get in contact with us and tell us.
All right, fine. This was also, again, on the same journey over. They gave a security video.
Ooh.
And, so, you've got these pictures coming up and whatnot. It was all in French on the way over.
Mon Dieu.
Yeah. Okay, Guernsey is part, they're part England, part French, France, sorry. So, but at the same time, it's kind of like, why didn't they play the video twice and do it once in English, once in French,
Yeah, that would make more sense to be, multilingual or bilingual and play it. Yeah, I wonder whether they'd just... Anyway, who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe somebody put the wrong, video on.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Maybe that is the case. But then also when we returned, it was actually just an English version. So I don't think it was an error. I think it's something that they actually do. But it just seemed really strange to me. But then I suppose... if you got a German person on the boat or whatever, which we did on the way back, maybe if they don't speak English, there was at least pictures and videos, you know what I mean? So you can get the gist of what's going on. But it did seem really weird to me to be like a majority English speaking vessel and not to have the, safety video actually playing in English and in French if necessary,
It could also be that they all just secretly want you all to go down with the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be it. They just want you all to go down with the boat. And they're just taking, seeing which way it plays out, which is the easiest way to for it all to happen and go wrong. Sounds like you're having a bit of a challenging journey there.
Yeah.
Up, chucking up and unable to follow the video.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to go through around duty free, holding on as a white knuckle ride, kind of thing. So desperate to get my duty free cigarettes, you know what I mean? And it was, I was like, oh my God. So yeah, you've got these bars as you're walking around and like literally my knuckles were white from holding on to it. And I stood to this man who was one of the employees there. I said, how are you still actually stood up? He was just stood there, I was like, how are you doing this?
Practice, isn't it, I guess?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I suppose that the more you do it, the better it is, sort of thing, really, isn't it? But, it was insane anyway. It was absolutely mental. And, there was a lot of, like I said, poorly people.
Oh, dear. Not fun.
Now, my last codswallop, which then we'll go on to your codswallops if you have any.
I don't have any, but you also, I think you've more than codswalloped enough for the both of us. But
yeah,
pray tell, what is your final codswallop?
Okay, this one I wrote down especially for you.
Okay.
And it doesn't involve you, but I know that this one might get the blood boiling.
Okay.
So.
I am intrigued.
This was on the return journey.
Mm-hmm.
So I was already tired, but, whatever. I was sitting in the port waiting, like in the sort of waiting room part, just waiting for... Well, I was early, basically. So there's not a massive amount that you can do on Guernsey. So we were there for 7 hours, but I really only was walking around for like 4, maybe 4.5, 5. But yeah, I got to a point where I was just like, I'm just going to go back to the port, because I really was had enough. Yeah. So anyway, this woman turned up. Her let's say husband, because I don't know whether they were married or not, and her 5 kids, 5 boys. After like them running around like a headless chickens and causing mayhem because they're kids and they clearly had no control over them, the husband was trying to do one of the children's shoelaces up so it wouldn't trip over and fall over. She then says, well, have you asked him if he wants to have his shoelace tied up? She says to her husband. And then she proceeds to say, do you want your lace done up, sweetheart? The kid says no, because it's a kid. And the kid is always going to say no to these things. And then the father, stroke man, that was with her, went absolutely ballistic and said, that's why your kids are running wild. And then they massively started a fight. And I was like, yeah, go man.
This doesn't make you sound like a psychopath, but keep going.
No. That's the end of it. So, but I mean, I didn't say yeah. You know, obviously, I just sat there sort of thinking, thank God somebody said it. But it was the fact that this woman, just turned around to her child and she was like, "Oh, sweetheart, do you want to have your lace done up?" And then the child's like, "No."
Hey, what can I say? 21st century parenting.
I know.
Enjoy the wokeism, people.
I know. But yeah, I thought that was going to get a little bit more of a rise out of you, to be honest. Come on, James.
It just makes me laugh because it's just like absolutely just bonkers. It's craziness. And then people wonder why you get, children who just have fun because they're just going to end up being very unruly, annoying, paint in the backside, aren't they?
They absolutely are, yeah. I used to work in, so a little bit of backstory here that James knows about really, but, just a little bit of backstory anyway. I used to work in a child-friendly hotel and that was probably, over 10 years ago, let's say. And that was the time when it really put me off having children because I was constantly listening to them on the baby listening monitor and stuff like that. And I was like, nah, you're all right. I don't want children.
Well, the idea of not doing this child's shoelace or saying, do you want to do it with shoelace, is all gone to the kid falls flat on its face, knocks all its teeth out, etc. So not at all. What a weird thing. What a truly, truly weird thing.
It absolutely was. It was just so mind-boggling to actually listen to it and watch it sort of thing happening. But at the same time, because the kids were running around like mentalists, I was just like, I think it didn't help because I was tired. But, they were just being kids. And at the end of the day, they should just be being kids. But at the same time, if the parent is saying, can you be quiet? They should also be quiet. You know what I mean?
This is true.
But
this is true.
It's a tricky one. I don't have kids and I don't intend to. So, I guess with regards to that, I can't really comment. But it just did baffle me that the parent actually asked the child if they actually want to have their shoelace done up. So there you go.
Welcome to parenting the 21st century.
Yes, exactly. So that's my codswallop this week, and it wasn't too painful, was it?
No, I mean, I'm not too traumatised. I can't speak on behalf of the salty tadpoles. Probably tonight when I go to sleep, I will have a sudden flashback and wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat with the having taken on board the rage and anger of Gemma on what she's told us. But not too bad.
Well, see, there you go. See, now you can start listening again now. So that's clearly what happened, is that you weren't listening to me a few minutes ago. So
I was listening.
Of course you were. Right, so I'm going to go into my funny stories quickly.
Back of the net, yep, go on.
Yeah, well, one is two of funny stories.
Okay.
These are, real life events. So things that I've seen as I've been sort of walking around or whatever. So again, on the ferry on the crossing over, there was a hero of the hour moment. This man had his wife and child both being very poorly. And he was the hero of the hour because he was going, while the boat was going crazy and going from side to side, he was walking the sick bags to the toilets and back. But I thought that is like, he deserved to be hero of the hour, because it was like, that's such a shite job to do. And to have to do it when the boat is, really rocking. I mean, that's not fun. And it's worse when it's not even your own, So.
And yet he wasn't being sick or anything like that, so that's pretty impressive.
Yes, yeah, definitely. I think that was the extra thing that sort of made him hero of the week for me. So.
Stomach of steel.
Yes, indeed. Yes. And there was, at the end of one of the aisles, there was a family with a small baby in a carry, like a car seat kind of thing. And and that, when I had to sort of go past them with mine, I was like, oh my God, please don't drop it right now.
Actually, that would have been quite funny if you had, though. Splattering everywhere.
All over the baby's head. Oh.
Well, I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking splattering all over the floor, but...
Oh, no. I was worried about, hitting the, accidentally dropping it on the child. But, yeah, no, it didn't. So, thank God for that.
Thank God, indeed. That sounds horrible. Ugh.
Yeah.
Sometimes shit happens, so...
Exactly, and sometimes sick happens as well. So, there we go.
It does.
And the other two, these now are funny things, okay? So go-karts. Everybody knows go-karts.
Yes.
There's a place near me, and they've got like a go-kart outdoor racing thing. And yesterday I saw two pensioners in individual cars, both with children in the cars. And the kids were probably about 5 or 6. Thereabouts, I couldn't work out exactly what the ages of the kids were, but how with go-karts you're supposed to drive around and you're supposed to bump into each other and race each other sort of thing. Well,
that's part of the plan, yeah.
Yeah, these pensioners were going around, but they were doing 10 mile an hour.
I think what can I say, Gemma? You'll be there one day, but you'll be doing it in a car.
It really made me laugh, though, because it was just so, they were going around so slowly that I was just really...
How old were the children?
Like I said, they were probably about maybe 5 or 6, maybe a tiny bit older, but they were old enough.
Oh, right. I was just maybe they don't want to scare them or something, but yeah, it is a bit odd. I mean, it's like when you see people doing, I'm going to be fair, the older generation driving a car doing that, where I've seen them doing it when they're doing 5 miles an hour, huge tailbacks of traffic with no idea, completely oblivious to everything around them.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? But oh my goodness, this absolutely made me roar with laughter. But at the same time, I was trying not to laugh because I didn't want them to feel like I was laughing at them, even though I was. You know what I mean?
I know.
But
so harsh, Gemma. So.
I know.
So harsh.
But if you'd have been there, you would have roared too. You know what I mean?
Do you hear this, Salty Tadpoles? She's so evil. So evil.
Yeah, but you would have laughed too. You would have laughed too.
Me? Probably, yeah.
And then my final weird story, but kind of funny story as well.
Okay. Yeah.
These are two things that happened yesterday. So I happened to park up, and I, just park up behind this car, and I glanced out my window, and I was like, "What's that on the back of the car?" And there was a bag on the back of the car, which contained dog poo. And it was obviously their own because they had a dog in the car, and then they also came round the car, opened up the boot because it was hanging off the boot of the car, and I was like, oh my God, that takes, your people obviously take your rubbish home, but there are bins that you can also dispose of that in, you know what I mean? But the strangest part was, I took a photo of this as well, by the way, so I can put it up on social media once I've blacked out the, number plate and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But the strangest thing is that a few minutes later, I was driving down back home, and another car had also a bag on their windscreen as well, hanging off the sort of the windscreen blade, the blade, the wiper blade.
Yes. Yep.
And it also contained dog poo. And I was like, what the fuck is going on?
So basically, there's some weird club that these people are part of. I mean, I find the idea, it's one of the major things that puts me off having a dog. Having to pick up dog dirt is disgusting. The entire idea is disgusting. Putting it in a bag, is pretty awful. But yes, hanging it off your car. I mean, there is a genius to it, because it means you don't have to bring it into the vehicle with you for disposing of it. But vile.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like
thank you.
Normal public bins. I don't know what colour they are for your side, but they're black here. But the normal bins, they will. You can, as long as it's in a bag, you can put the dog poo in the bag. You know what I mean? It's like in the bin, sorry.
I'm assuming there must have been bins in the area then.
Yeah, there are. And that's why I couldn't get my head around it. I was like, what?
Maybe they're collecting it.
Maybe, unless,
maybe they're building a giant mound or using it for fertiliser. Or maybe they're just weird. The mind boggles. Very weird.
Yeah, I mean, this was on Portland, and they do announce that, they are weirdos. So it's a possibility that it was because they were weird. But yeah, I just could not get my head around that. Not only seeing it once, but seeing it twice in about a space of 10 minutes. You know what I mean? It was like, I think yesterday was a bit of a weird day, definitely.
Maybe he gone into some sort of weird alternate dimension where this stuff was like, cool and just normal. God. I mean, I just won't want anything to do with the dog poo bags as it is. No, thank you.
Well, it's better than leaving it around for people to step in, though.
This is also true. That is a very, very valid point. But either way, no thank you.
Fair enough. Yeah, so you're definitely not going to get a dog. I think we'll get you a pet rock.
I do love dogs. And I love the theory of having a dog. But what I will do is live vicariously through other people who have dogs. It's a lot simpler than having to deal with all the horribleness of dog ownership.
Yeah, so you're there for all the nice bits, not all the horrible bits.
Yep, basically, nice, good dog, pat, lovely, take it maybe for a bit of a walk, but somebody else can deal with the other stuff and the smelliness of dogs and whatnot, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I think that's fair enough indeed. And indeed,
yeah, see, it's just stealing my stuff now.
I'm sorry about that.
she's full of anger and she's committing... verbal plagiarism.
Oh my goodness, I'm ever so sorry.
Shocking. Terrible.
And how can you say I'm angry? I'm laughing my head off.
No, it's just the underlying bubbling rage. Incredible Hulk, She-Hulk, angry all the time.
Oh dear. Well, I mean, whatever, really. No, it's all right. I'll, but to be honest, I'm going to carry on stealing your sayings. So
yes, they're quality sayings. So obviously, you would be incorrect to not want to steal them from me.
Exactly.
They're good. Exactly. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, indeed.
Yeah. We'll bring another one back from the past. Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. There was quite a few in the early days as well. I can't remember them all, but there we go.
I can't remember this morning. There's no chance. There's no way that I'll remember the previous sayings. But maybe I'll have to take the time out to listen to the greatest hits, so to speak, and see what I can lift from them. Make a list. It was like when one of the guys I used to work with, we used to call them riderisms. Mm-hmm. He'd have a great list of stuff. So if I get in contact with my former colleague Steve, I'll see if I can find some of the former riderisms, which were the ones I can remember. What a good do. What a good do was always one I used to have. You can't beat a bargain unless it's a freebie. And there was something else that he used to say, which was something on the lines of, the work will be done at a date, in the future, which has yet to be decided. Something like that. I'd have to. But yeah, somewhere we used to have somewhere printed off is a list of riderisms. So I'll see if I can find them.
I'm guessing that was his surname then.
Indeed, it was.
Yeah.
Indeed, it was.
Look how clever I am.
Nothing gets past you, Gemma.
I know.
Nothing gets past you.
I know.
Like a steel trap.
Actually, I was just thinking, as we were talking about like sayings and stuff like that, are there any typical like Yorkshire sayings?
As I'm not originally from here.
No, but you live there. So.
No, the one that I find that's interesting, I think it's called off cumdom, which it means you're not of the area.
Oh, okay.
But I'm trying to think if there's anything else I know of. Fettle is a word that's used around here, which means to sort something out.
Yeah, I don't think she's from that area, but she always says, "I hope we're all in fine fettle this morning." Yeah. I'm like, what?
Yeah, fettle is to sort something out, I believe.
Okay.
But off cumdom means you're not of the area. But there's no. I tell you what, to find out, I will endeavour to find out. I will ask my uncle. He'll know his stuff, so I'll ask.
Yeah.
I'll find out some sayings from the area.
Well, that'll be good, actually, because that may be, for a future episode or whatever, I can bring some Dorset ones, you can bring some Yorkshire ones, and we can, sort of see how crazy our worlds are.
It will be interesting. I mean, I'm thinking for like the Dorset, your kind of area, a lot of them will revolve around headless sex dolls. So
and combine harvesters, don't forget them. Oh my God, I live in such a backwards world, don't I?
I went to walking and I found a headless sex doll. And then I hopped on my combine harvester.
And then found a giant crisp.
Oh God, I just remembered that one.
Yeah.
Oh dear God. How strange, how very, very strange.
I know, sorry.
Yeah. It adds to the rich tapestry of life.
It does. So yeah, I was just going to tell you a little bit about Guernsey. There's really not much to sort of say, really.
God, that's like really sticking the knife in, isn't it? The Guernsey tourist board are like, what? No, there's far more to us.
Well, when you're a foot passenger on the ferry, so Condor ferries, there's...
Are you getting paid by them?
Yeah, I wish I was. Absolutely. But no, I'm not getting paid by them. But I'm just telling everybody, the fun facts of, the journey and whatnot. And so it's really pretty. It's kind of like, have you ever been to like Cornwall or seen pictures of Cornwall?
I have, yes. I've been to Cornwall, yes.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a Cornish village, but it's obviously an island because it's, Guernsey, which is an island. But it's not massive. So there was, I found a couple of pubs. So, of course, I went to visit. One of them I had food in, which was really nice. And then the other one was just the drinking pub. So I had to be careful because I couldn't, firstly, I'm on antibiotics still, but also the second thing is that obviously I would be driving as well when I got home as well.
And if the boat's going side to side, you don't be throwing up.
No, on the journey on the way back was perfect. It was amazing. Like nice. I had a good sleep on the way back as well, so it was really, really good. Because it was a long day. It started at like 6 a.m. because I had to be there for about 7:45. And it was in Poole, so it's about an hour away. And then I didn't get back until gone 11.
So that is a pretty long day.
Yeah, that is a long day. So, but I had to sleep on the ferry, so that was pretty good. But so I found a couple of shops. There's a lot of shops to sort of visit and stuff like that, and there's a lot of walking. There was a really cool little church there. So, it had I just had a little wander around because, to be honest, it was a bit of a miserable weather-wise day. So it wasn't really fantastic for the sort of sightseeing and stuff like that. But I believe if I ever was to go over via car, that there's a lot more, that I can sort of see and do there. But it was nice to just kind of be out and about in a different place, experiencing something different. You know what I mean? So, and I picked up. Have I shown you the picture of the cushion that I picked up for Graham and Mum?
I don't believe so.
Oh, okay. Well, it's got a rooster on it and it's got a hen on it, and it says something along the lines of, "This rooster lives here with his beautiful hen." I was just like, nah, that's perfect for them.
Yep. That's nice. I like that. That's less rage-filled. That's sweet and kind. So
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Yeah. Oh, and I managed to find the island lunatic as well, who... there was this...
There's a surprise. There's a real shock. Gemma attracts the lunatic. Yes, that's. I cannot say that surprised me in any shape or form. Go on. It's true, but it's like you got. I remember saying this to somebody. I think it's to my mother actually when we were in Essen.
Yeah.
Obviously several years ago, and I remember saying to her, "Hey, there's everywhere you go, you always find some nutter, don't you?"
Yes, yeah.
Just someone there screaming, shouting, talking to themselves. What was the lunatic you found doing?
Well, yes, she was doing exactly what you were saying. So she was screaming, but really offensive things at the top of her lungs. So she was talking about the KKK and trying to get everyone's attention. She was talking about, like the Jews and how everyone's, sort of Russia and conspiracy theories and stuff like that. And there was actually one bit that was, well, directed at me in a way, but again, bearing in mind that she was the lunatic and I was at this point, I was just like, whatever. But she was talking about... She's talking about these two girls that were walking behind me, and she's like, "Oh, look at these two. They're so skinny and beautiful, walking around in their shops, and look at this fat one sat on a bench," because I was sat on a bench. And I was like, okay. Yeah, so I let it slide. But there was this girl who walked past, and she turned around, she sort of faced me, because obviously it was kind of obvious it was directed at me because there was nobody else there. But yeah, she was like so shocked. She was looking around, so like, she had like a face of, "Would you like me to smack her as I walk past her?" I was like, nah, don't even worry about it. Because that's the thing. She wanted the rise, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to give it to her in any form. And I was like, actually, shut up, because you're the idiot here, not me. I'm just merrily sitting here on a bench smoking my cigarette, so you leave me alone. But I didn't say anything. I just left her to it, and just walked off. But yeah. So I was fat-shaming, James.
Well, it's, it's not cool, it's not good, but you are right, there's a lunatic everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, she wasn't saying anything that wasn't true, to be fair, but, it's like the same...
No, don't go like that, don't think like that, that's not right. What you should have done is thrown a real curb on, said, "Do you want to go for a pint?"
I should have.
Would have expected that, would she? If you go, "Hey, do you want to go for a pint?" She's like... Well, the problem in that situation is she either says yes or just break what's left of her brain. But yeah, just to see what the action would have been interesting.
Yeah. Would you like to go for a pint? Maybe I'll just push you off this cliff.
Yet again, Gemma's having a rageful moment, but let's bring it back to the positive.
Yeah, I know, but you can laugh off a rageful moment, I believe. So
Yes. Murder, on the other hand, bit tricky, bit hard to get out of that one.
Only if you're caught, though, James. Only if you're caught. So what? You must have had something fun happen this week. Or something, have you seen your dad? How's your garden?
Well, yeah, garden seems to be... Well, the thing is, on the gardening front, gardening is something I'm trying to do a bit more of at the moment, because it does seem to do me some good. Because we've been having, like, the weirdest... I mean, this is, like, the most middle-aged sort of conversation I'm ever going to have, but because the fact that the weather has been, like, up and down like a yo-yo, and we've been getting cold spells, the garden's been taking a bit of a battering. So I'm hoping it'll recover, because the weather's allegedly going to get a bit better. But yeah, I've generally just tried to keep on top of that, and I have managed to go out and get a few walks in that have been kind of helping me on that front. So yeah, that's not anything really interesting has been happening, I'm afraid, at the moment. It's just been sort of like, it is what it is sort of thing. So yeah, sorry, Salty Tadpoles, not got too much to report, other than the fact that I have watched Picard. I have spoke to the mistress, and she's finally started watching it. So we will hopefully be able to get reviews in at some point on that one. But I do recognise what She-Hulk, the wife, has said, and it will be 2 episodes at a time because Gemma has reliably informed me she can't handle listening to 10 episodes spread out over loads of time, so we'll try and combine them and make them into something interesting. What I have noticed though is that I'm glad I'm not doing loads of conventions at the moment, because they just people keep not attending and things getting cancelled. So yeah, I'm glad I'm not the person who's booked in to see one specific person to then find out they're not attending, because that must be really annoying and soul destroying.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. But although absolutely, and I'm sort of agreeing with you there, but at the same time, kind of, you would keep it in the back of your head, wouldn't you, that there's a possibility people are going to cancel for various reasons. So you would. Yeah.
But I think some people, certainly if it's like, say, the first time they've ever been to a convention, and they've gone with the specific goal, they might have seen one person.
Yeah.
You see them on Facebook not being too happy, which I can understand, but, I'd just say go and embrace it and try and see everybody else you can at it. But it's very weird times for doing conventions and things, because obviously there's the COVID aspect, there's travel aspects that have become problems, because when I was looking at things like airports, it's mental at the moment. So, yeah. Mental.
Yeah, because our friend Lucy Caton at the moment is out in LA. So
she is.
Yeah.
She posted some pictures.
She did.
That look very cool and interesting.
Yeah. She was outside of Penny's door from
I saw
Big
that.
Bang. Yeah. But I know, I was just sort of saying it for the listeners as well, or for the Salty Tadpoles, wash my mouth out. She was outside of Penny's door going, knock, knock, Penny, knock, knock, Penny, knock, knock, Penny.
She'll be there a long, long, long time. Hope she's patient. Someone going, excuse me, miss, we're closing now. No, she's still not answered. No, we're closing. Lights getting turned off. Go home.
Bless her. No, she said it is very lovely there, but extremely hot as well. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, it's interesting, and we will get off this subject, 'cause obviously we've established that nothing interesting has happened to me this week. On the weather front, I'm just glad I'm not in Spain, because from what I've understood, madly bad weather, really bad flooding, etc., etc. So yeah.
I mean, I don't even check the weather report for my local area, so I just open the window and see what's doing. You know what I mean? Yeah. But
as Billy Connolly said, they come on, they tell us about isobars and pressures and all this stuff. They should just come on and go. Look at the camera, go, fuck it, and walk off again.
It's raining. It's England.
Raining. Yeah, it's raining.
Yeah. Well, it's the UK completely, everywhere in the UK it rains. So, I don't know why people want to come here, to be honest.
Not wrong. Well, I would say, the wonderful, beautiful, green and pleasant hills, and people who have heard that we... the Talking Codswallop podcast comes from this land.
Yep.
That's why they come.
Yep. Indeed.
That's why they come.
Indeed.
Yes. See? It's theft again.
Thumbs up, indeed.
Yep. Is it the 2 thumbs up McCartney thing?
Yeah. I was just meaning more like whenever I give you an essay of words, hi James, could you do such and such this week? It'd be really appreciated. Blah,
yes.
blah, blah,
Thumb
blah,
up.
blah, blah,
Yep.
blah, blah. And then you just go thumbs up.
Yeah. I mean, I do that because I know it annoys you, and that's why I really go for the really large thumbs up thing. Try and get it to go to the before it does the pop thing.
Yeah. Yes, I am fully aware that you do it because it annoys me.
This is
Which
true.
is why I don't let it annoy me anymore, because I know that you then can't win. Ha ha ha.
Yeah. There's no point trying to battle. I know I've already won.
Yeah, exactly. So the last thing that I was going to say as well, and it's potentially a new, going to be a guest maybe. There's a really cool shop in town called...
So cool that you can't remember the name of it.
Exactly. It's terrible, isn't it? Oh, it's Razzmatazz. So it's a geek culture kind of shop. So it's got lots of like figurines and Funko Pops and everything that you could possibly want in there. So it's got some very, 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 very cool stuff. And it's kind of like the only place in town that actually does anything like that. So I
like it.
Yeah. My sister-in-law and brother brought me a Funko Pop for my birthday, which obviously was a few weeks back now. Happy birthday to me, happy birthday to me, happy birthday for a few weeks ago, happy birthday to me. So anyway, but unfortunately the one that they got me kind of didn't really match my collection. It was a bit too sort of cutesy really for what I've got really. So mine's more sort of based around films that I love or sort of horror-y kind of things really. Anyway, got the receipt off them and I popped it back and paid for, shall I say.
Admitting theft, but keep going, shoplifting. Yeah.
No, would never do that from this shop at all. I wouldn't do it from any shop either, but, from this shop, definitely not. But I took him one to return and then came out with 3.
What was, I'm intrigued, what was the one you returned?
It was an Alice in Wonderland, like bunny rabbit thing. It was a new Funko Pop. So, but it wasn't really, I'm not really sure what it was, to be honest. It was, not that I wasn't sure what it was. It was definitely a rabbit and it was definitely from Alice in Wonderland, but I'd not seen those ones before. But the ones that I came out with was all 3 members of the Green Day. And I was like, that's amazing.
Okay. What I was expecting to have to comment upon is that if you were going to say you'd not actually returned it, I'd be like, so if anyone is expecting a gift of any time in the future, look out for an Alice in Wonderland rabbit.
Well, it is somebody's birthday coming up soon, so, never know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I know. I swore I'd never say, but I am honoured that James has actually told me when his birthday is, and that's all I'm saying. I'm not going to tell anybody else.
Because no one else is going to find out.
No,
but yes,
I promise.
no.
Yeah.
See, Funko Pops, I've never really understood them. I don't. I mean, I know what they are, obviously, but I don't really understand the appeal of them. But, if it works, fair enough. If people enjoy it, which they seem to do. But, it's never... I've never really got it. But, people do seem to enjoy them.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. And I keep mine in my boxes as well, in the box as well. So, it's more of a collector's item type thing. And they're probably not even going to be worth anything down the line. I know, I can hear you saying it now. Not you necessarily, but whoever's saying it, But I like them, and they are all, like I've got a few that are like Back to the Future. I've got Kevin Smith ones. I've got Shaun of the Dead. I've even got one signed by, I've blanked on his name. Who played Shaun?
Wow, I blanked as what? Peg.
Yeah, Simon Pegg. That's it. Yeah. So there's one signed by him as well, which is obviously very cool as well. So I really like them, but
because I think I was shopping recently. I think I did see some Funkos for. Have they done like some new other thing to it? Back to the Future? Is this like a game link or something they've done to it? I don't fully understand it.
Yeah,
but I mean the ultimate really weird way of because how there's some really screwed up people in this world. So
yes,
I've got
I live near most of them.
This is true, but I'll give you a pitch for the most screwed up Funko Pop collection you could possibly have. Okay. Ready for this one? Because this is like the most offensive UK based Funko Pop you could create. It'd be a treble box set of ready for this: Ian Watkins, Jimmy Savile, and Paul Gadd.
Say Paul Gadd again because your microphone popped.
Sorry, Paul Gadd. Gary Glitter himself. So
Yeah.
the most screwed up, offensive British Funko collection you could create.
I'm not sure.
Some sicko somewhere would collect that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It wouldn't be me, by the way, but I'm not sure who the first guy is.
Ian Watkins was the guy at Lost Profits.
Oh, yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yep, definitely. Yeah.
It's like, the sicko pedo collection would be those three ones. Someone would create that.
Yeah. I think Funko would probably stay clear of that.
Funko wouldn't create it, but there'd be somebody somewhere who'd go, yeah. Because it's like when they make serial killer collection stuff, figures. Somebody somewhere would collect them. So it'd be like basically the pervert UK music collection.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely would not like that. So, if anyone's thinking of sending me that, please don't, because I'd rather not. Unless you're happy for me to burn them, and then they'll be all right. Well, James, obviously we've been talking for about 50 odd minutes now, so I was going to say...
I think I've traumatized myself with that my own idea, actually. I'm just thinking, wow, that is dark. That's a really dark turn.
It did take a massive dark turn. So this is me struggling to actually divert it now into something nice. So just before we move on to stories of the week, which obviously we'll end the episode with, I just wanted to do a little plug for the Chronicles of Podcast and the event that they're putting on very soon. And I've got the information in front of me. I've not got all of the details, so obviously you'd have to go over to I think it's at Chronicles Pod, or just search the Chronicles of Podcast to sort of find out.
Anything's better than nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So find out their information, like it's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and at TCO Pod, if I remember correctly. So yeah, give it a whirl. But they are putting on a music event, which is on May the 28th at Scruffy Murphy's in Birmingham. And they're doing it, basically there's going to be themselves having a live show. And they've also got 4 different bands as well playing. And it's it's all to raise money for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's like a foundation that's very close to my heart as well, coming from a rock and metal kind of background. So I think tickets cost about £7, but all of the proceeds go to the actual foundation. So that, again, the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. So I will be going. I've brought my ticket. So, if any of the Salty Tadpoles want to come up as well, that would be amazing. Obviously, if you're in the Birmingham area already, head on to their website. Well, it's on their Facebook page. I know for definite they've got a link there, and then they've got where you can sort of buy your tickets from and stuff as well. So, yeah.
Definitely go to it. You too could meet Gemma in real life, IRL, as they say.
Yeah.
In person. I actually, just before... when I mentioned the IRL, I actually had somebody come up to me with regards to something and say, this is the first time I've seen this IRL. Instead of saying in real life, they actually said, this is the first time I've seen this IRL. Don't know, they were probably like 18 or something. It must be like what people are now saying, but instead of saying in real life, wow, this is the first time I've seen this IRL.
Yeah, it's the new cool, really, going back to sweet and cool and all of that, yeah. So it's all...
When I look at them and go, what are you talking? No, I knew what they meant, but you're like, really? You can't just say in real life, you have to take it down to IRL?
Oh.
Okay,
OMG, of course.
Dear God. Anyway, whatever works for them. But yeah, you too could go to this event and meet Gemma in person.
Yeah, and of course you can meet Jamie Westwood and Tom Stevens as well, who were putting on the event. Maybe
true.
Maybe because North Yorkshire, or where James lives, isn't massively far away from Birmingham. Maybe we could convince him to come down.
I don't think you're geographically
yeah, but you're still closer than I am, James. You're 2 hours away, I'm 4 hours away. So who's closer?
Well, possibly. It's still, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Let's not twist my arm on the recording too much.
No.
I know I know you want to inflict pain because of the anger.
Not at all, not at all. Right, so let's move on to stories of the week now, James. So how many stories do you have?
I have one, which strangely somebody sent me, but I can't think who it was who sent me.
It was me.
It was, and it's a bloody good story. It's one I'd already seen, so thank you, Gemma, for sending
That's all right. So I've got 2 stories. So shall I go first with mine, you go in the middle, and then I go last?
Ooh, a codswallop sandwich. Yes, please.
It's not codswallop, it's story of the week.
Well, codswallop. Well, it's codswallop because it is talking codswallop, so,
That's a good
kind
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all codswallop, Gem. It's all codswallop.
Yeah, and we are all salty
codswallop.
And we are all salty tadpoles.
Yes. Truly disgusting thought, but it is true. Factually accurate.
Right, so I had obviously the choice of 2 different stories, so I'm going to go with the least horrific one first. But the sigh-worthy one. So, council cuts down 1,000 daffodils in play area because children might eat them. Fucking hell, James. It's like, seriously, are you serious?
Why don't you just dig them up? If they don't want them there, just dig them up and replant them somewhere.
Well, exactly. Well, I mean, they kind of have done that in a sense because they cut them down, but yeah. So vexed locals in Cornwall have branded their town, the town council. Let me start that again. Vexed locals in Cornwall have branded their town council bonkers after 1,000 daffodils were cut down in a play area due to health and safety fears.
Okay.
Officials of St. Blaise Town, or Blaise, not sure, town council have warned that the flowers can be poisonous if eaten and could give the children diarrhea. I think sometimes children need to learn lessons. If you're going to eat the pretty flower, then you need to have the poos. What do you think?
I would say that firstly, I'd assume the parent or somebody who, is looking after the children would be there to stop this happening. If you are so unable to stop your child from eating a daffodil, you got to question, should you have children?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
If you cannot stop it, seriously. I don't like children. I'm not, I'm not paternal, but come on, people.
Yeah,
take some, the mind boggles. What are we going to do? Just wrap the child in cotton wool? Yeah, to stop something happening. This is the sort of thing where it falls into that thing. If everybody's a winner, let's give everyone a medal. Even when they've lost a race. I think I'm channeling my inner Brian Johnson here, but with less rage.
And just as much sassiness.
but definitely less rage, because I'm not smashing an iPad or throwing something across the room while discussing this. But not good. Not good. What I would say, though, is, just if you really don't want the flowers there, just dig them up.
Yeah.
Rather than beheading all of them, But, tell you what, concrete over it all, which is obviously a better idea, and then worry about someone falling and hurting themselves on the concrete.
Well, that's the thing. See, playgrounds, they're supposed to have that kind of bouncy concrete, aren't they? So, no, it's like
that's a good
it's not
description.
concrete, obviously, but it's like a bouncy ground type thing, isn't it?
I was going to say, Gemma has created a new product. It's going to Star Trek territory with the aluminum wow, how American! The aluminium.
Yes, I was going to say
aluminium
what?
that's like some sort of I don't know, plastic aluminium. I can't remember. It's something on the films. Joanne, where are you when I need you?
Yeah.
Joanne know exactly what I'm talking about. I go, boom, it's that.
Yeah.
But it's a new product that's been created by Gemma. But it's just, you cannot. you cannot stop things going wrong. You cannot, create something that's going to be perfect for every eventuality. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah. No, to be honest, I'm kind of like, as we're sort of talking here, it's kind of like, the thing is, as well, with daffodils only come out for, a couple of months a year? So
that's correct.
February, March, then they're pretty much gone. They used to be out in April, but, they're pretty much dead by then. So it's really unnecessary, because in February, most people wouldn't be going in the playground anyway, because it would probably be raining,
It'd be cold, yeah.
And cold. I mean, the cold probably wouldn't, the kid can always wear a coat or whatever. So, But yeah, I agree. It's the fact that, they're saying here, after a recent play inspection training, we were advised not to have daffodils in the play areas, as all parts of the daffodil can be poisonous, a council person said. I brought this to the attention of the town council, which apparently I can only say town council, who said no more daffs should be planted, but those that were there before the land was devolved for them. Basically, the ones that were there before can actually stay. The daffodils are sporadic over a grassed area, and once the flowers have died, the grass will be cut. Wow. Okay. So, and somebody says that this is preposterous information. So,
yeah. Okay. Whatever. Just concrete over it. And then when someone falls and cracks head on the concrete, you can work out you need to dig up the concrete and replace it all with earth, with soil. Yeah.
This is one thing that has caught my eye that made me giggle a little bit, though, as somebody said, are they going to put signs up saying, don't eat the daffodils next? This is totally bonkers.
No, they will. Yeah. They will. It's going to happen. Don't even feel the need to suggest that, because it's going to happen. Don't eat the daffodils. Don't do this. Don't do that.
No.
Dearie me. Dearie me.
Yeah, indeed. I think I'm done with that story. But, basically, the thing is, as well, we're kind of the generation where, not necessarily as a rule, you go out into the garden and eat mud kind of thing, and it's, you build up that sort of immune system.
It's not something I remember doing as a child, sitting around eating mud. But
you did. Come on now.
No. I mean, I know you're as you mentioned earlier, you're from a very interesting, to quote Gemma, backwards area. But yeah, we didn't, we ate food, not mud. But whatever rocks your world, whatever makes you happy.
Whatever makes you happy.
In fact, tonight Gemma will be out in her garden with a trowel, mud sandwich. She'll have the immune system of, she'll be like a cockroach. They'll drop the nuke. There'll be her and the cockroaches left.
Yep, exactly. And then it'll be laughing on the side of your face, won't you?
Well, no, because I'll be a charred skeleton.
I know, but your face will still be like...
smiling, terror, screaming. It's all... Yeah.
All right. Well, what bonkers weird stuff have you brought this week then?
Well, I brought nothing because it was sent to me by you. But what bonkers weird stuff, to put it this way, what hit the road? Well, perfectly, this is an interesting one. So, car corner moment here. So, cars, it's been listed as this. It was supposed to be their pride and joy, but instead it's now a mangled wreck. I can see the picture. It's not actually a mangled wreck. A £250,000 supercar that was crashed on the same day that the owner brought it, just 2 miles from the dealership. I've got to be honest, it doesn't surprise me because this is like such sod's law. The luxury car is believed to be a Ferrari 488. Photos shared by the police show the front bonnet crumpled with scratches all across the front of the flashy red sports car. The driver, who was uninjured, was left counting the cost after his pride and joy was involved in the collision shortly after he purchased the car in Derby. Derbyshire police said Derby first April driver bought a Ferrari this morning and crashed it after driving less than 2 miles. No injuries. #drive to arrive. What? and that's it. Seriously, that's it. This is the article. Cover your ears, kids. Cover your ears, kids. I'm gonna swear. Fuck you, Metro. Honest to God. Well, firstly, it is a non-article. It's like the most. I mean, the police. Do you not have better things to do than take pictures of this car and tweet it? And I mean, it's not a mangle wreck. It's not a write-off. That will be fixable. I mean, to quote Clarkson, that'll buff out. But yeah, I think I'm more annoyed by the article actually than what's happened.
I was going to say you're showing the the sort of passion that I wanted when I was telling you about a lady asking her child if she wanted her shoelace torn up. Yeah, that's the reaction that I was hoping for from you.
It's taken time, but what's happened is the anger that you normally carry with you is somehow passed to me. It's like osmosis anger. I do feel very sorry for him because can you imagine? You've just picked up your car, you bump it.
But you kind of think, well, he was probably testing it out, you know what I mean? Yes. And like racing it. I'd
love to know what he or she hit because it's a side on. It looks like they've. Yeah, I wonder what they've hit because it's like all more on the top of the bumper and the bonnet. So whether they've gone under something slightly and caught it, under like a lorry or something. But yeah, you've got a feel for them because $250,000 of car, in theory, and you've tated it, and you probably. I mean, if you're willing to spend that sort of money on a car or lease it, you're more than likely going to be able to afford the repair costs. But yes, I do feel for them somewhat. It's not going to be fun. No. But hopefully nobody hurt themselves. I mean, probably the police have already done them on the fact they didn't have a front number plate, or certainly no visible front number plate.
They might have had one. But it went off in the crash.
It's certainly, that is a possibility. But ooh, what a bugger.
Or it was taken off for the picture, maybe, or something like that. But
it might have been taken off for the picture. But yes, not fun.
No,
not fun
not at all.
No, not as horrendous as some of the other weird stuff we've discussed. You know, could it be that the person had to brake sharply for a child with an undone shoelace running in front of the car?
It might have been that
sort of situation.
And it all goes full circle. Right, well, in that case, then I'll move on to my last story, which is the rather disturbing one.
Okay.
Well, I believe it to be a disturbing one from the headline anyway, so you know. But
is it a Metro article?
Of course, I stuck with the Metro this week.
Yeah. And their wondrous writing skills. Huzzah, huzzah.
As I was going to say, as much as we actually mock the Metro, this is the perfect newspaper in some ways for us as a podcast, because it's, they do sort of give you the weird stories and then it gets you sort of angry that they don't even bother to finish the story. You know, I think it's just... in some ways, the perfect paper for us.
Okay. I am intrigued. What is your slightly disturbing article?
Okay. So, man pregnant in eye with flies has them delivered using forceps.
I saw a little bit of this one. They've definitely over-egged the pudding on the way they described it. But go on. Yeah. Tell me. I am intrigued.
Yeah, and they've got a picture of a botfly larvae seen under a microscope. And it looks pretty creepy, to be honest. It looks kind of something like Beetlejuice, you know, like kind of in a way, you know, the snakes in Beetlejuice, kind of like that in a way. Okay, so doctors had to use forceps to physically remove more than a dozen fly larvae from a man's eye. The 58, sorry, I do apologise, sir, I've just aged you a little bit, but 53-year-old patient had admitted himself into hospital in France, complaining of an itchy right eye that had persisted for several hours. According to reports, that appeared in the New England Journal of Medicine. Sorry, just moved the mouse a minute. The man told doctors he had been gardening near a horse and sheep farm. Oh, James, be careful. Haven't you got sheep around?
I have. They're in the field across from me. I've also got an itchy right eye right now.
Oh,
I've been out in my garden. Keep going. If my eye drops out tonight, we'll know why.
Yeah, indeed. So I'll repeat that then just in case, okay? So the man told doctors he had been gardening near a horse and a sheep farm earlier in the day when he felt something enter his eye. An eye examination showed more than a dozen mobile, translucent larvae squirming around on his cornea. Oh, it's kind of grossing me out a bit now, even just with the words. The transparent outer covering of the front eye. So that's what obviously the cornea is, if people didn't know that. Got more pictures, so this is really horrible. They also found them inside his, wherever, the membrane living in the eyelid and the white parts of his eye. The doctors were unable to identify the creatures. Oh, sorry, they were able to identify the creatures. They are known as sheep bot fly. So obviously they've given it a really fancy name, but I'm not going to read it. These flies can cause infestations around the world, and the best guess is that one of these flies flew into the man's eye and deposited its larvae there. Ugh. It humped its eye, James.
I mean, I find it strange how this would happen, because surely the fly would have really had to hit him in the eye, and I wonder if it's... The suggestion in the article is that it might have all happened on the same day, but I'm not entirely sure I believe that.
I don't know, though, because if you ever, like if you're driving in the car or whatever and a fly comes in and it hits you in the eye, or, or you've had those moments where, you've been running or something.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've been there, yeah.
No, and a fly's flown into your mouth or whatever.
I guess it's the difference of the sort of... It probably also must be where the flies have come from, the sort of location, the creatures they've been around. But yeah, that's pretty horrific.
Yeah.
Is it as disturbing as my suggestion of the three, paedophile music UK people for Funko Pops? I'm not entirely sure. They're both pretty unnerving. I'm not sure which one's winning right now.
Well, I mean, I could actually win that race with a couple more sentences, so...
Go on, tell me more.
If that's not enough to make you shudder, then...
Yep.
Sorry, I've got two mouses in front of me and I keep using the wrong one. If that's not enough to make you shudder, then unfortunately it appears the only way to remove them is to physically pluck them out of the eye with a pair of forceps.
Yeah.
That's because... Sorry, go on.
No, not nice.
Yeah, not nice at all. That's because the creatures have oral hooks.
Nice.
Used to cling onto... My eyes started itching, so that's really a bit concerning as well. Used to cling onto the cornea, and if left untreated, could cause abrasions that may become quite serious. So...
You'd lose your eyesight, wouldn't you? Yeah.
Yeah. 10 days later, he has completely recovered. So it's all good. He's all fine now. And he's wearing a pair of safety goggles every time that he goes out and does the garden now. But yeah.
Yeah. Metro oversold it on the article. The article heading definitely oversold it. But what more could you expect from the Metro? Yeah,
well, I mean, technically, they oversold it a little bit, but he did have fly larvae in his eye, and they are technically baby flies. So, it's all right, Metro. I'm on your side a little bit here, just a little bit.
I'm not. I wouldn't say that was a buzzing article. I'm here all week, people. I'm here all week.
The Pun Master James.
The Pun Master General.
Yeah. Right. Well, James, I don't know about you, but I think we've been talking enough codswallop this week. What do you think?
Yeah, I would agree. I've now got a watering itchy eye, so I'll, bathe that in some sort of, 100% alcohol.
Yeah, acid or something, yeah.
Yeah.
Go and get it checked out at the hospital, see if you got any fly larvae.
They'll say, stop wasting our time. Get the F out.
Yeah, you've just got eyelash in there or something.
Just got an itchy eye, son. Get out.
Well, in that case then, James, I think that we've been talking enough Codswallop this week. I have been Gemma.
I have been James.
Yes, you have. Bye-bye, everyone.
Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.